This is AV SuperFriends Off the Rails, an almost regularly scheduled open discussion on audio and video in higher education. We'll sound off about our most brilliant ideas, our dumbest mistakes, and everything in between. And because this conversation will almost certainly go off the rails at some point, we'll end up covering just about everything else. And now, the AV SuperFriends. For April 24th, 2026, it's the best sounding and most production-focused podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends Off the Rails, episode number 136. Way over on those. Broadcasting live, coast to coast, and everywhere in between, screaming down the backbone, hopping VLANs, and dodging help desk escalations, and arriving with all the confidence of a technician holding a label maker and a grudge. I'm Chris Deckner. It's time for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure with the AV SuperFriends.
Where do you want these labels at?
Just labels. Labels. You gotta get labels. So. And let's say hello to today's panel of chatty AV SuperFriends. Our first panelist oversees a forward-looking campus strategy to identify, route, and ceremonially Velcro cables before anyone actually needs them. He's a director for predictive cable management from Kansas City. Say hello to Mr. Jamie Reinhardt.
The secret is finding a smokeless candle for your ceremony of Velcro wrappage.
Wow, all right, just not expecting that. Our next panelist ensures classroom AI tools remain loosely on message while all meeting attendees receive a statistically fair share of snacks. He's a senior coordinator for ambient AI alignment and snack equity from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mr. Mark Kolowazinski.
Snack bots. We need lots of more snack bots. That's an idea. Justin, get Atlas on snack bot.
I'll make one. I'm doing it right now.
It's Mr. Snack. Our next panelist develops policies, trainings, and morale frameworks so faculty can press the correct room control button with uncommon bravery. He's a manager for advanced button confidence from Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hello to Mr. Larry Darling.
I actually have it that whenever a faculty member turns the system off, the room applauds.
Ooh. Golf clap style or like
Golf
polite
clap
studio
style.
audience?
Yeah.
Not like sitcom. Not like
No.
1990s Fox sitcom.
Jerry Springer.
Or a lot of hooting and hollering. And our final panelist champions a bold institutional vision that combines AV, AI, analytics, and other words nobody wants to define too clearly. He's a vice president for Interoperables Phraseology from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Say hello to Mr. Justin Rexing.
That sounds like Mark's title.
No. Wait, I want to hear you tell us your title.
I'm hungry.
Snack bots.
Like I haven't ate yet and I'm hungry. That's all I can think about. This phraseology thing, I don't know. It seems like more of a Mark thing.
You want to hear Justin say vice president for Interoperable Phraseology?
Yeah.
That might be a little better.
How would we know?
I don't know.
Give it a shot. Just walk around.
What are
there for a
y'all
minute.
what are
See
y'all
how it
doing
feels.
for dinner tonight?
Coming over to your place for barbecue.
No,
All right.
We don't have time for barbecue conversation.
So
right?
on today's show, we're going to discuss NAB and lots of NAB and a lot of weird stuff from NAB. So we've kind of come up with a potpourri from NAB.
A potpourri of NAB.
A potpourri from NAB. And we're also going to talk about the convergence of production AV and presentation AV. And we're starting to see those lines continually blur, that word. But first, a little bit of housekeeping.
Color out some
By
lines.
continuing to listen to this recorded MP3, you acknowledge that AV SuperFriends may also be experienced live on Fridays at approximately 3:15 Eastern, 12:15 Pacific, or whenever Mark finally returns from his other meetings. Live participation is available
You're not
via
wrong.
Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Today it was very true. Failure to attend the live broadcast does not remove your obligation to follow AV SuperFriends on social media, including Twitter, LinkedIn, I got a typo in here, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Blue Sky for updates, clips, and evidence of ongoing bad judgment. Listeners are further encouraged to share this program with friends, coworkers, enemies, and random members of the public, although enforcement methods may vary by jurisdiction. Optional but appreciated financial support may be submitted through the donation link located in the show notes or on the website. Questions, comments, complaints, and topic suggestions may be directed to mailbag@avsuperfriends.com or submitted through via social media. By listening on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other platform, you agree that you should probably rate and review the show because that helps more people find it, and frankly, that sounds like a you problem. And thank you for your compliance.
Legally obligated.
You are obligated, sir.
Just click agree.
And now, it's time for the news. Justin, sing along.
Do.
Yeah. Still the favorite clip I've ever pulled from this show. All right.
A lot of traction. It's got a lot of
So
traction.
it was a one shot. I can never replicate it.
Mhm.
So I'll do it again.
So this week's news is about Biamp, who has been sending out hundreds of emails to all sorts of people, except Jamie, apparently.
Not Jamie.
Or,
Jamie
and me.
Or Larry.
I checked
Um,
all of the boxes, and I don't have any.
I get these emails to all the addresses I have. So at various points. Anyway,
I'm blaming Hooper. He either saved me or he's holding me back. I
Hooper's
don't know
not
which
riding a
one
bike
yet.
right now. He just sent me
have
pictures.
you been? Does this
Yeah.
mean you've been blacklisted or whitelisted?
I don't know. So he's either
Red-listed.
rescuing me from all of the email, or I was left out of some awesome event, and only Mark is going to be able to tell us more about it.
Mhm.
So yes, this is Biamp's
with that.
50th anniversary. They're doing this all year long, celebrating the 50 years of Biamp history, their development, what they've done, all the different product lines and technologies they've been involved in. And Mark, probably because he's
Of
the closest
all
one of us to
people, yeah.
all of us to Portland, was invited to their exclusive Biamp 50th thingy yesterday.
Yes.
Which point apparently you guys had to run away from the police in an electric vehicle at one point.
That
Allegedly.
sounds super cool.
Allegedly.
But yeah, so tell us
yeah.
This
about the
sounds
Biamp
very
50th.
Kentucky-ish.
So
Can I do that? I want to. Why didn't I get invited?
my rep, Mr. Chris Dietrich, was wrangling me into this for the last whenever it was, a couple months. He'd said, "I'm going to bring you up to the 50th." I'm like, "Fine." I assumed everybody was getting this, and maybe I was the last one that didn't respond or something, and I got just wrangled into it. I'm like, "Fine, I will drive up to Portland to attend the event."
How far away is that for you?
It's a good question, Justin, because the assumption was I was like 4 hours away, and like, you're gonna need a room and you need all this stuff. I'm like, it's like 45 minutes, man. I can drive there. I could
It's
be
not
there.
45
like,
minutes.
it wasn't all the way in Portland. I had to meet like south. I'm like, it was literally like 45, 50 minutes with traffic. And so
it's like a Nashville for me. I got you.
yeah, and like, "Fine, you don't need a room and all this stuff." I was like, no, I'm like, I can go over to the other campus if I need to get something done for work if we really need to. So I met him up there. We went in the Turo rig, the electric Hummer that was rented to transport us around for a little while, which is it's a fun experience. Did the tour for people who have not done the Biamp factory tour. I've done that. Help host that tour again. Yeah. So it's as we left it. All the
Y'all
stuff.
get to take a ceremonial drink from the solder fountain.
We all had solder fountain shots, like we always do.
Nice.
You have to stay on the red. Do not venture off of the red tile. You're not electromagnetically capable of getting off of that red tile, I guess. And so yeah, we did that, and then we went to the soiree afterwards. But before that, they locked us in a couple of rooms, and it was myself and Blake from Stanford. Shout out to Blake and Mike from
Gentner.
Yep, Blake Gentner and Mike from down for the Thunderbird School down in Arizona. So we were esteemed guests. How I became an esteemed guest, I do not know. I look around.
How'd you become esteemed?
I don't know. I
get the guest part. I'm just worried about the esteemed part.
It's the solder fountain.
It's the solder fountain shots, I guess. So what we get to experience, we got the voice lift thing. You're going to hear a lot about the voice lift. We got to go through the voice lift experience, and then kind of the mix minus audio auto zoning systems. We got to experience that firsthand, and it's clever. And it's nice for those folks that want to dabble in that, play with that at Infocom when you get a chance to hear that. And kind of, if you have that type of requirement, it's an option for you to check it out. One of the highlights, they locked us into their anechoic chamber, and we all went crazy for a little while because we couldn't hear anything. First time I've been in like this rated version of this, where I could barely hear the person who's like talking to me right in front of me. I'm like, I can't hear you.
I do
Blake,
not appreciate those.
Yeah,
it's a weird experience.
It's super weird.
Yeah.
But we got to see how they were doing the testing of microphones, speakers, and the like to do with that. And they walked us through some of their certification process, which was really cool to see their engineering lab where they're doing Microsoft Teams certification, Zoom certification, like, and all the rigorous things they actually go through, which is weird.
Just a giant machine sign-in checks.
You would think no. It was actually a bunch of tools, and they were going through it. And they allowed us access to the engineers behind the scene, and they walked us through some of the.
But engineers are an accountant.
Mm-hmm. No, these are real deal engineers.
Are they all the Bobs?
No, that was the soiree, right? And so, so it was good to see that. And then they let us see what they were coining and phrasing as like a highly reflective room, you all would recognize it as one of your standard conference rooms.
Standard conference room.
Yeah.
Lots of hard surfaces.
It's all, yes. I was like, oh, this is just like every, terrible drop ceiling and just a bunch of.
Well, they had it wasn't
surface.
an open ceiling. They had a drop ceiling.
Yeah, it was like drop. They had a very well like stage. Well, they had like, it was hard walls. And they could bring in different things and put it in the room, and they could
Did it
stage
have a
it.
swimming
that
pool
ceiling
in the middle
open.
of it?
The swimming pool.
Or
Be nice, and they had it all taped out, so we could see like how they're doing distance testing and calibrating reverberation time and the like. So it was cool to walk through some of that and see them doing some product engineering. And then we got to the point where we had the big to do when Rashid was not there. He had a family issue he had to deal with, so we had Joe.
Secret Hooper.
No, it wasn't Hooper. And so they started off, and I didn't really didn't know what to expect, to be honest. In being there, 200 some people or thereabouts of it was basically they're all hands. If you work for Biamp, you need to be there at this 50th, and they had the same stage that the AV SuperFriends were on. We did our little thing at Biamp, but they had the whole room available, and so they. In the corner had their new museum. So this was kind of doing the history of Biamp and kind of where it all began. And I never knew the origin story. So it was actually a little bit interesting for me to understand where it came out of, and the Kingsmen and Sun amplifiers and where that all kind of originated. So I had never known the backstory. So to hear that and to hear leadership kind of talk through that. And at one point they actually did bring up myself, Oregon State, Blake, and Stanford, and Mike and Thunderbird as their esteemed colleagues. And Blake and I we were ready to go give speeches, and they wouldn't let us go up the stage. And we had a really good, when I got back from the space station, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't let us up there. So then they had the Portland youth band play some music for us. And so it was a cool affair to see kind of all that. And that, leadership did kind of share a little around like, the values of where they're moving as an organization, and, just the work they've done over the last 50 years and being able to survive the ups and downs and kind of the history where it came from. It was nice to have and talk to some of the senior leadership that have been around for years and years to kind of their journey through the company and the organization and kind of where they've gone through ups and downs. And so it was retrospective in some weird ways. So it was a cool experience.
Did you find out who they were buying next?
No, actually, yes, they had already bought them.
Okay.
I did get in for those. This is not secret. The Clear One microphones being reboxed and rebranded into Biamps. So we saw that process happen. I saw the Clear One box that get taken out of it and then put into another box, rewrapped, and
that Clear One box is a patented shape.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. No one else can use the box like that.
They were not shy around it. That they were not happy about it, but they were not shy about it either.
They acquired all the intellectual property, so it would make sense for them to keep some of those products around.
So we got lots of pictures of Clear One hardware on Biamp racks. So that's good pictures to have. But it was a cool event. It was cool to be a part of it. It was an honor to go up and spend some time with them and get to talk to some folks and get to see. But they are. I didn't get any surprises about any new release hardware. We were grilling them on lots of things. Blake and I did our best to try to pry it out as much as we could, but we couldn't get in to spill much beans on any
How
of that
many
stuff.
appetizers did you eat? Did you have a lot of food?
What was the food like?
We did not have. They had a lot of food. And it was fairly good, but we had a late lunch, and we're like, nobody was hungry.
It was probably all gluten-free vegan crap.
No,
too.
It wasn't. It was all like off the grill, like
just
legit.
hot dogs.
So yeah, that
Off the
probably wasn't
grill?
hot dogs. They had the full bar set up, and then we're like, none of us were like really in the mood for any of that because we had already had the big lunch, and we're like, no.
I would appreciate that right now.
Yeah, you are hungry, aren't you? So,
Talk
but
more about food while Justin's
yeah.
pining.
So it was a good experience for those, and obviously today, your people in your emails, you're probably seeing a lot of the Biamp 50th stuff. So it was that was
Larry,
the trade. Well, no, sorry, not Larry, not Jamie.
No, Larry and Jamie though. I keep getting more emails.
Yeah, I have like 10 of them
I've
this
gotten
morning.
one.
So
Nothing.
wow. Well, anyway, so cool to be a part of it. A little bit of history there. So it was a fun experience for a little day trip. So yeah,
cool. All right. Well, yeah, and I suspect, I don't know, I'm guessing that their Infocom, they're going to make a big deal about their Infocom theme is going to be their 50th as well.
Yes.
So they'll be doing lots of discussions of probably some retrospective stuff, but also a lot of forward-looking technologies and whatnot. So
Jamie, you would have loved it because they had like the old like history buying like the old mechanical stuff's all out on display to play with all the old mixers
I'm
and
still
knobs.
using it.
Yeah, oh, I know. I'm saying like this is Jamie's whack-a-mole.
I've got
room
that
right here.
installed.
Shut up! I do.
It speaks to the
those old mixer amps.
Yeah.
Are
The old mixer
bulletproof.
amps, the MXA
works,
series.
yeah.
I'm sure there's probably hundreds of those out there still
That
cranking away.
that's like bluish gray. Yeah, those were
Yeah.
those were
With
tame.
the security panel, you could put over it so people couldn't touch the knobbers.
Oh,
But you could
I
with
was-
a tweaker.
Because
No, it was
we had Hooper and Tim here, and I was telling him like I think when I was cleaning out one of the things, I still had like the VRAM, like the very first all DSP auto mixer that they had with the expansion box, and it was sitting in the pile. I did surplus it, but maybe I should have sent it to Portland. Put this in your thing.
but in the time capsule.
Man, that
No,
thing
it
was a
was-
pain to work.
It was
with.
cool. Yeah, we had a chance to talk to some engineers too. Like they let them out to talk about some of the design and development from behind the scenes and some of the modules we're seeing in the Fortes and the X series, kind of what's going on behind the scenes and how they're developing some of that. And that was always fascinating to deep dive into some super nerd talk. So that was a fun day.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll hope to get a slight feeling for that as when we visit with our friends at BIAMP at Infocom. But till then, we just have Mark's stories of being chased by the police.
Yes, that electric Hummer can be fast. It sure can.
Did you try the crab thing where it can go this way?
Yes, of course. You can't
You try the
not.
crab thing fast.
We parked
How
that
fast
thing.
can it go in a crab?
We
mode?
parked it and ran that thing anywhere we wanted to yesterday. Let me just tell you.
It's probably still sitting at the airport up on the curb with the flashers on. A sign on the dash that says, "I'll be right back."
Yes, it's like tow it. I dare you. Just see what happens.
All
How
right,
do they deal with gas mileage in rentals with electric cars?
They don't.
They charge
You're
you
supposed to-
more.
You're supposed to top it off when you get there. We're just like,
Mhm.
yeah, no, just charge it. We don't
Are you
care.
are you supposed to charge them?
You're supposed to charge them. Yeah,
It sounded to me like it wasn't Mark's problem.
it wasn't my problem.
It was not the one.
I
on
was
the,
just a passenger
That's right.
riding
It's not the one
shotgun.
with the rental agreement.
Somebody
the
else
police
just got
asks,
the
he was
liability claim.
kidnapped.
I don't know what happened, sir.
I've always been curious about that. Like you just have to charge it before you. Is there a charging parking spot? Like, does that?
Do you have
you
one
take
at your
it
house?
to the charger, and that's good enough?
You could go to a supercharger down the road and top it off.
And just
Some
sit there and
KW
wait.
in there. Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
I will say, if
Next
you do,
on electric car talk.
if you do fill up your electric car before you return it to the rental agency, if you return it fully fueled, they get pissed. By the way, so
This
do
was not a rental
fill-
agency. This was Toro. This
Yeah,
was some
don't fill it with
private
gas.
dude's
Yeah.
electric car that we just
Oh,
had
okay, so you just
zipping
got
around. Yeah.
some random
Just some
schmo.
personal
Yes.
car of someone.
Yeah,
Well, that's how
Well-
Turo works, Justin.
that's how Toro works.
I probably would
Our
drive
guest,
it rough
our,
and
our,
normal.
our is Grant. Grant's like, I really wanted to see how this thing works. Might want to buy one. And it's like, I'm like, well, fuck it, let's go.
Okay.
All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll hear from a sponsor. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about all the things from NAB for those who weren't there, which includes all of us, but we've been cherry picking our favorite little bits and pieces out of it. So 60 seconds, we'll be back.
All right.
The AV SuperFriends are supported by Computer Comforts, and they've got a brand new product hitting the lineup. Last year, CCI's Evolve Lectern was a big hit, a push-button power table combined with a super flexible AV cabinet. But let's be honest, not every room needs 24 units of rack space. Shocking, I know. And that's where the new AV Hub comes in. It's a lighter, more space-efficient solution for classrooms that still need real AV infrastructure. You get 8 units of rack space, and the whole thing sits only about 10 inches off the wall, which makes it a great fit when you're pairing it with a sit-stand power table instead of building a massive lectern footprint into the room. And this wasn't designed in isolation. The AV Hub was developed in collaboration with Texas State University, so it's built around real higher ed classrooms and real deployment needs. And that means fewer compromises, cleaner installs, and way less, why is this furniture the size of a refrigerator? If you want to see photos, specs, and all the details, head over to computercomforts.com/AV-hub. That's the new AV Hub from Computer Comforts. Purpose-built, space-efficient, and designed for how classrooms actually work. And thanks again to Computer Comforts for supporting the AV SuperFriends. So NAB, that was
Sure
this week.
was.
It happened.
Mm-hmm.
They started early too, like 3 days early. They just went like on Friday. They're like, you know what, we're all here, we're going.
That's right.
Kind of
something
seemed
like
like that.
It felt like it was all like some pre-announcement, and then like everybody's like, "Oh, look at all this stuff! They're going to announce it next week," and everybody forgot that the actual.
You got
event was going
announcements?
on.
I didn't get one announcement.
But it started on Saturday, and so it kind of snuck up on you. So anyway, so yeah, National Association of Broadcasters did their big trade show in Las Vegas. It is probably 50% larger than Infocom. It is a big show with a lot of stuff going on there. We've been kind of going through, looking for, to your point about announcements and emails. I mean, I've gotten quite a few actually, but you know, you guys not getting emails, what's going on? But we've been cherry picking a couple of stories, trying to find something that, trying to find things that are of interest to us or of interest to what they might mean capability wise or down the road, that sort of thing. And as I think we do almost every year when we talk about NAB, we're going to start with Blackmagic Design, who, say what you will about Blackmagic Design, those guys are forward thinking and they are doing some interesting crap. So every year. Jamie, I think this was your suggestion, is they announced basically an entire ecosystem around their Fairlight software and interfaces and all sorts of stuff for strictly for audio consoles. But this is something they've been growing into recently.
I thought, yes. So they came out, we'll talk about Fairlight first, but it kind of ties into everything else. Like last year when we talked about them, they put out some affordable SMPTE 2110 things, some ST 2110 things. And then this year they went crazy. There's 2110 everywhere. And on top of that, they put out this, they've had the Fairlight tab inside DaVinci, the NLE for a while. It was just kind of there. I think didn't they buy that out?
There's been like threats of the Fairlight thing for a while.
Yeah.
And it was always like, can't quite get all the information you want about it.
Yeah, and it was never a full featured like DAW, but it was kind of a strange thing. I just kind of barely used it whenever I would edit in there. But then they came out and they dropped it as a full-on live computer-based console. That low latency, uses all the normal VST plugins and everything, and it's a live console. Comes in and out, uses virtual drivers and everything else. It is not tied to their hardware fader packs.
Yeah.
And in fact, you can buy the big fancy fader packs, but they don't have any I/O.
Yeah.
It's very little I/O on the thing, so it's not a full audio console. It's not, a Yamaha or any of the larger ones that you're used to. And I did download the beta and I started playing around with it. I'm pretty interested in how it would work in a live setting. It's not a DAW either.
Which is interesting because Fairlight, the original company Fairlight, which New Zealand, Australia, somewhere, they started as like one of the first what we would consider a DAW today. I think it was known as a DAW then, but like it was in the 80s. This was something they had built, and then Blackmagic snapped them up to integrate, like you said, into DaVinci. But it's interesting now that it's not being built out as a full DAW. Maybe they're moving that direction. Maybe that's something we're going to see in the coming years.
Well, it's a combo onto their ATM platform, their Constellation platform, so that you can have a complete broadcast studio or whatnot. I just found it, usually when we see these kinds of softwares, they're tied to something. You have to have something in order to make it work. Like I said, I downloaded it and was using it. I was like,
what were you running on your front end? Just curious.
Nothing.
It just magically showed up in your computer?
Yeah.
The music just gets there?
So you download it and then
it comes with all the tracks you'll ever need?
You build out the tracks you need, and then you assign them to whatever. Like I'm on an Apple.
I think that was Mark's question.
Yes, I'm curious. Like if I have analog stuff.
Oh, you have to get it
into
somehow.
This thing.
You got to get widgets and tchotchkes.
Yeah,
you have to have something, but most of us do. So, for instance, I'm like completely overkill.
Does it work with the other stuffs?
I have a whole QSC. I have a Core 110 sitting in front of me.
We know.
So I maxed the USB out on that thing and plugged it into my Mac Mini. And boop, they're all available.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
If I had like if I had a Dante virtual sound card, would it
Yes.
expose itself there?
No, yeah, exposes itself.
Ah, see, okay, there we go.
You can bus route to all your headphones. You can bus route to the Dante outs. You can bus route. It takes SMPTE 2110 streams in. It's
So this is OBS for audio, but better.
yes,
Sounds
If you
fun.
had USB and Dante, could you mix them both together?
All the above.
But out
now
of
I don't know
phase.
how well it will work on Windows because Windows hates anything that's.
Yeah, Larry, you get one
That's
channel,
all you. That's
so
all you
you're
got to do. Windows hates anything.
But
Fine.
since OS X handles some of those audio drivers differently, the core audio packages,
Okay.
everything that was
It's
available
pronounced
to
MacOS. It's not OS X anymore. sir.
Macos,
Nor was it
everything
ever.
that was presented within my sound profile on my computer, it was an option.
Mhm.
And you can build out your virtual interface to match all of these options. And it has 5.1 tracks for Atmos. I mean, you can virtual route using some software of some sort from inside your computer to inside your computer. It's
It's super fascinating to me because I think it's really cool. And I played with it a little bit. And as soon as I opened it, I was like, some jackass somewhere is going to recreate a DSP, thinking they're the most clever person ever to hook a computer up to this like Dante IO like analog bridge thing, and they're going to try to use like, look at. I made a DSP and I'm sending commands and my computer's controlling shit. And it's going to be the most rickety thing. And they're going to think they solved the world's problems because they have long
Why
hair.
do you
and
keep looking
the
at
ginger
Jamie
sharp.
when you say that?
I'm not.
I'm feeling
There's
judged.
probably an alternate reality version of me doing this, being like, holy
I was going to
shit.
say that sounds like
Yeah,
a
it's-
Mark thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a young, but
No,
I
Mark would be asking Claude to do it.
Well, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it
Claudio
does
gets
do
done.
some like basic record, things, but it's not a recorder.
No,
It is a mixing console,
mixing
but it's
console.
all software.
Can you record onto the PC? I'm sure you can.
if you
There's
had
there's
adjacent
limited
recording
ways
software,
to do it.
you
Yes.
could.
Yes, there are ways
All
to
the
do
shit
it.
that it does, it's limiting on recording to a computer when it's already on the computer.
Well, the
Just
recording,
route it virtually to the other thing that does
The
that.
audio is in the computer, Justin.
yeah, I
But
think
you
with
can't-
Jamie told you it already ships with all the tracks you ever need. So
Yes,
you-
it has
what-
everything.
What is there to re-record? You have it all.
You just have
Well,
to
I mean,
route
I-
it
It
out of
does-
the computer and back to the computer. Then you're
well,
fine.
it's supposed to route to your ATM switcher, your video switcher. It goes to a recording pack, or it goes to a different dedicated hard disk recorder.
But I got a hard disk right there where the software is.
So do you want a recorder, or do you want a very extremely low latency live broadcast or live
I
event
want both,
mixer?
Jamie.
So you can't have
on the
that.
same computer.
The same
That is-
computer.
This see, you're not allowed to do this.
But I'm
Is it
also running.
Teams
And
Yeah,
it
Skype at the
might,
same time.
I don't know. I spent like an hour with the stupid thing, but
I bet you can.
I
we
found it.
can figure
I
out.
found it really
We
cool.
can figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it really cool, and I also find that like Black Magic, going ass deep into SMPTE 2110 when nobody else really wants to dick with it is.
It's-
and it's
I think
it's
people want to, but
affordable.
they're so afraid to make that plunge because they're like, oh, I want to commit to this, but that means I have to convert everything. And they're like, I
and-
just can't afford
and they're like,
to do that.
well, then here, convert it for $200.
yeah,
Here,
exactly.
convert it.
So they're
Well,
solving
I'm
that
going to
problem.
need 100 gig backbone. Oh, we got you, bro.
Fine, here you
Here. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not
They're,
all
they're
that
trying
expensive.
to make it like excuse proof. You're like, oh, you want to do this? Here, do this then. Oh,
I
you
know
can't. Oh,
Larry
you need
caught
this.
that.
How about this then?
Saw Larry's face when he heard that. 'cause I
They're
know he
coming
caught
right off the camera with it. Now, look, it's Black Magic design.
Uh-huh.
It does have a shelf life.
Buy two.
We all know that.
Just buy a second one, put it next to it.
You just need another power supply.
But for people who are starting to wade into or are in that in between where they can't afford all of the high end broadcast gear, but
Which,
you might have to
Spoiler:
like,
nobody could ever afford that.
supposedly, maybe some of us might have a small student run station where we can't afford $280 million studio
Or maybe
Or
we
esports
designed
arena.
esports around it because
or
why the hell not?
esports or whatever.
Mhm.
I find it, you just know what you're buying. I think that's what it is. You know what you're buying.
I have no
And it's
qualms
good
in using
enough.
Their stuff. Yeah.
And it's good enough. I don't have any problems using it. I know what I'm buying.
The utility and value you get and the flexibility you're getting, it's hard. It's hard to beat that. I mean, when you look at the dollars and cents, take the names out of it. This is what I need to get done. Here's the price to do this. I got to move this A to this D and ship it over here. How do I do it in the most effective way?
Yeah, I was
I
having
will
a
say that every
conversation
time
with
when I'm picking Blackmagic equipment out, I'm like, oh shit, I hope this works.
I actually had a conversation with a client on campus where I said, we
Common.
can put the Blackmagic in, but your replacement cycle is going to be half for that aspect of the
Just
project.
buy
We're
two and put it next to it. I'm telling you guys.
just going to plan on every
spares.
4 years instead of 8 years replacing it.
Yeah, but if they keep coming out with this price point, and they are being innovative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they're being
They are.
innovative at a good price point. So in 4 years, you probably get a full upgrade.
I mean,
And spend
fundamentally,
the same amount of
right,
money.
the only thing that's keeping them from being everywhere is like the network, as weird as it is.
Yes.
Once like everybody's network is super high speed, 10, 100 gig, and that's just prolific, all of a sudden they're going to look like geniuses because all their shit's like, oh, it's on my desktop. I'm just running it. All I'm doing is converting right here, A to D, it's on a network, and there it is. Like that is the direction they are marching in.
Mhm.
And they are going to have all this stuff, and it's software driven. It's not big, bulky, black box intensive. And right now, I think that they are catering to the right market, to be 100% honest.
Correct. So
So-
Blackmagic had some fun stuff. I can
And we-
just
and we
dive
did-
into
we-
the next thing if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Blackmagic every year, and there's a reason for it. So if you haven't explored some of their stuff, please do. I mean, the price point is very easy to get into for some of these projects. Try some stuff out. It does some interesting, cool stuff. That
And if you have problems with HDCP, throw it in your classrooms.
Just throw it out there.
Just throw it out there. No more HDCP problems.
yeah, that's the official Crestron line too. Just turn it off. So anyway,
Yeah.
seriously, it's still a freaking recommendation. You're doing it wrong. Jamie, you want to talk about Bird Dog?
Another company that
They are another company.
Yes, they
Very
are.
good, Jamie.
they are in the same realm of you know what you're
They're
buying.
the disruptors group. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
They are making waves and stirring shit up, and we appreciate them doing that.
Yes. Now, Bird Dog has had years ago. They really did this with NDI, and I bought in, and
You were all in. You just cannonballed
I did
right
a
in.
whole building with them,
Yeah.
and it's 6 years in. I'm just now thinking about replacing it. It worked fine. It's great. Anyway, Bird Dog has been mostly NDI, and they had made an announcement over NAB that they're going to start including Dante AVH as part of their streaming package and the availability on their cameras. A big chunk of them. There's certain ones that won't get it.
And by the way, availability wise, a firmware update on cameras
Yes.
you probably already have, which
Yes.
is an interesting play
Yeah.
to say the hardware's there, the chips are there, run this firmware, now you have Dante AVH.
That's been a lot of that chipset. Most of those cameras that have that similar chipset are just a firmware rev away from being able to do all these things.
Or could I interested in selling you a new camera, Mark?
Yes.
I
all
found it interesting that they're opening that up and saying, okay, so we already did HDMI, we already did SDI, we're doing NDI, all kinds of flavors of it, RTSP, and now you know what? For all of you who want to use Dante, here's this too.
Did you
On the
research
X
it more
series.
to find answers to my questions, Jamie?
What are your questions?
what was
No,
yours?
I don't
My
have
Bird
hot
Dog
dogs,
rep.
and I'm not shipping you food. What are
Now
the other
I'm hungry
questions?
again. No, remember we talked about will it do it simultaneously? What's the capability?
Oh,
Multi-stream?
Okay, except for the Dante thing, since it's not available till next month.
Next month, so we don't know. Okay.
Yeah, but
Future.
all of the other ones, they're all available all the time.
Hmm.
So
Grab
all
onto
the
what
other
you need.
all the other Bird Dog cameras I have, in fact I'm sitting on one right now that has USB.
Why are you sitting
comfortable
on
with
the
That
camera?
supports you? I mean,
Well, I'm using one as my camera, and then I have another one that I'm sitting on. I find it
wiggle
to
a
be
little bit.
You're sitting on it,
I
right?
find it to be therapeutic, Justin. Leave me alone.
That pan tilt zoom, you can
Likes that
PT
tilt.
and the Z.
Ugh.
But
You're
all
doing
of the
weird
outputs, are available simultaneously. So
That's why I
it's pretty
asked
cool.
because Bird Dog was really good about that, and
Yeah.
that would
Yeah,
be
it's-
interesting to see if
And I suspect that means you can pick one flavor of IP out, not multiple at the same time.
AVH
but-
is just the H264 version, correct?
what I'm wondering is
It's
can
not
it do
the
both at the
full-
same time?
It's the baby brother.
So I'm going to say it probably does, because
That would be
NDI HX3 is 264.5 wrapped up, right?
Wrapped up. Yep.
Yeah.
And AVH is 264.5 wrapped up.
Wrapped up.
I'm going to guess that they're able to do that. this is a guess.
They're all
This is
just containers.
this is an
Rappers,
uninformed,
sir.
ignorant comment, but sure.
Yeah, why not? I think we have all been waiting for that Dante video stuff to kind of start to proliferate a little bit.
Mhm.
And
Turtle falls into this group from last year, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they
That's
came
another
out
one who's
with
a big disruptor, and obviously they have a connection from Bird Dog. But
Yeah. similar.
I like these companies coming out and doing, pushing the limits on some of this stuff, and going, to your point, Jamie, going all in on this. Like, hey, we're not just trying out on this one, because this is what we get from big manufacturers. Oh, that one box over there, yeah, it'll do well. There's a beta
Doesn't work with
firmware that
anything
does
else.
that, and it sort of works. But we've already canceled that line, and we're not going to support that anymore. But these other guys are just like, look, we
You should
have
buy the new
firmware
thing.
across the board on these. They all do it. You go nuts.
Software defined.
I got one more thing in that same category, and then I'll shut up.
Okay, bring it. Let's
So,
go.
in one of the trade magazines, I think it was TV Tech, best of show was NDI 6.3.
Ooh.
They had actually announced it at ISE, but it was one best of show at NAB, and I'm to bust Justin's onions. 6.3.
Why you keep talking about food?
Swallow this apple. 6.3 now supports HTTP
Can't
and
anymore.
content protection across the stream. So Justin, you can quit bitching about NDI now.
We're gonna try it in a classroom. See.
I'm gonna have to.
So once you
Right
get all that
right
updated,
there next to those 18 speakers you got in your ceiling.
once you get that updated, you'll be eating crow.
I appreciate what you did there, Jamie.
That was a shaggy dog story. You
My-
made that one.
In history are for those versions of NDI. I'm anxious to try new shit all the time.
All right, I'll shut up now. Everybody else
Well,
gets in.
to your point, Jamie, NDI is one of those technologies or protocols, I suppose, one of those transports that we AV SuperFriends have talked about for years, wanting it to be what it promises.
Maybe that
but
is
struggling
today.
with its implementation. This gets us one step closer, but it is an interesting play to say that what is more traditionally a production protocol, which usually means we don't worry about encryption because we just need low latency, speed, and high quality content to get across the network. Now that they are supporting encrypted content, that is an interesting play to say maybe this is something we can. I know you've done NDI more than any of us.
Yeah, but this was my big hang up. Like,
and this
in that
was
one,
the big limitation with NDI
here.
as a true, what would you call it, a presentation protocol, is someone's going to
Right.
bring in encrypted content and it's not going to play nice.
See,
And
I
now
have-
maybe it will.
I have my whole pharmacy program running on Bird Dog Minis because they were $500 a pop, and the quality and the speed was good enough or great enough. But every now and then somebody fires up, Spotify or Disney Plus and ruins
Messes it all
everything.
down, Yep.
Black screens.
Now they've learned in the last 5 or 6 years, they've learned that that's not really the way to go about that. But this finally, it's kind of like, great. Now maybe this takes that hiccup out because there are enough boxes. Well, we talked about the Magwell widget,
So-
the NDI to IP thing. Now it just
Would
fixes
you-
that.
Would you use this for an AV over IP solution? If
Uh,
the decoders were there and they
If
were,
Would
you
I
had the
try
coding
again?
encoders, yeah.
I mean, I'm doing it now. Would I try it again? Maybe.
well, I mean, with full HDC. piece,
Yeah, I
like,
will. I would probably try it again. Probably in a smaller setting than what I did. I probably should not have done 3 different buildings on 3 different campuses.
Go
running
big, man.
full Zoom.
That's
it.
the way
I'm
to
gonna
learn it.
Standardize
That's the way
all
you
my
learn.
classrooms on NDI 6.2 now, blindly.
I probably wouldn't do that.
Oh,
Or
Go
you could do
6.3.
you could do 6.3 is probably the one you want.
6.3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2's not so good. No.
And
No,
you
6.2
can't
is
get
classic.
anything on a network, so I wouldn't worry about it.
It's coming. I think it's, and this is like that blurring. Like, you start seeing these pieces kind of dabble into that AV. Like, that's where it's hard to kind
We'll
of
get there, Mark. We'll
distinguish.
get
I know.
there.
I know. I'm just saying, like, but this is what gets us there, as weird as it is. So more to come.
All right, that's it for me for now.
All right.
For now.
Oh, there's more.
Couple other, or another interesting. Well, do you want to talk about that?
I want to talk about the thing.
Robot yet?
I
Or
want to
you wanna
talk about
save
the
that?
thing. You want to save it?
Save that and talk about the Sony.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
make that
okay.
last.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll do that last.
That
All right,
thing's sweet.
I did want to bring up, this one was from, this is at Rave Pubs. They announced it here, but BitFocus Buttons wins a big award there.
That
Another
platform is
another
cool.
very,
If you
very
haven't
cool
checked it out,
disruptor to just be like, do I need a giant control? Can I just control system? Can I use this little thing that interfaces between this off-the-shelf hardware that's just pulling commands and passing those on to other things? If you haven't started playing with BitFocus, it's very interesting companion and buttons and things to like just to get control back and forth between devices. It's very cool in what it can do, and it's easy APIs to write to. But another one of these disruptors that is going to start making a mess of things if the uptake is there.
I think when you look at like the buttons, it's hard to even nail it down for like what single thing it even is. It's that connective tissue between stuff that really makes this like a differentiator, right? You think buttons, oh, it's about this physical thing you're doing, and like, yeah, that is part of the story, yes. But when you start to understand how that software is sitting and interacting with other application layer things, and like what you're able to do from the automation standpoint, that's when it kind of changes. I think that's where sometimes we see the product, you're like, oh, that it must just be that, because that's what it looks like on the surface. We're starting to see more of these kind of platform cross-pollinating system type things that are making everything really interesting from that API integration. I can control that. I can grab this link and I can control that for you. So you're getting all this additional automation, but it's not necessarily about like the physical thing anymore. There's much more going on under the hood. And I love buttons and that whole ecosystem for that work. Like, how do we start to automate all this back end stuff that used to be the Rube Goldberg, everything going on? Like, it's a clean, single point of entry to start doing much more complicated work than we ever have.
But but the pricing model on that is not conducive to throw in every classroom though. And
Free?
is it? I mean, because it's still per month, per year.
Oh,
You can
that's
get
just on certain.
perpetual, but
No, but they have just the free version is insanely powerful.
But you
It's
can't-
ridiculous.
you can't
Yes.
expand that to. Can you?
Yeah.
It probably will do enough for the casual person to really start to explore what's possible. It excels when you have like very complex and complicated like broadcast environments where you start to need all these different applications to work together that is then married to hardware doing things like it allows you to collapse a lot of your stack that you historically had a bunch of other hardware doing.
So it's like if you use the free version, don't call us, kind of thing.
No, I think the limitation is in the number of devices, the number of interfaces. It's I can only control 3 things with this one on the free version. But like
I'm
Mark said,
looking
you
at
can
the
grow.
tiers, and it says, "Yeah, if you got the free version, don't call us for support."
Yeah.
That's just
Like
for
it's
you,
got it
Justin.
right there.
They don't want to hear it.
Like, yeah, don't call us for that.
It's
Shit.
just you.
All right, well, does it actually say don't call us?
Yeah, it does.
It says
Are you
you,
sure?
Justin. there,
No
don't call
phone
us.
support, no SLA support.
Yeah, it's fine. It's free.
You're
Yeah.
good. You don't need it. That's how good it
There's
is.
a-
You got-
Justin,
that's
when's
what
the
you
last
got
time you
Claude A
called a
for.
manufacturer for support?
Claude A fix that for you, no problem.
Damn, you're right. It's been a minute.
Right. Atlas is your support. You don't need anybody talk to somebody on a phone.
Don't tell anybody
Jesus.
about Atlas yet.
Let's see. What else we got
Redact
here? We
that.
got. I'm going to jump down to the bottom here. So Rode announced their studio software, and this is not something we'd be deploying, say, like in a conference room, classroom sort of thing. But we
No.
all have those kind of media-friendly spaces, or someone wants to build a quote unquote one-button studio. Please
One
never
button
do that.
studio.
It's not 2008
Yay.
anymore. Knock it off.
But
A self-service studio. They want what people always have in mind is I want a Rodecaster and 4 microphones. That's really what they're asking for.
I wanted to do all this stuff for me too.
Well, but I have to do this stuff, and then people realize if they've not gotten into it that there's a lot of kind of like logistical shuffling around of files and metadata that people don't think about. Like, well, where's the recording go? What do I do with this? Where do I upload? So
How does it
Rode
get from this
has-
microphone to Apple?
yeah, how do
What's
I get it from
going
here
on?
to my phone?
Yeah.
Make this happen. So Rode has announced it's not available, but they've announced a version of their own software to do a lot of this automation, quote unquote AI powered, a lot of this automation on the Rodecaster itself. So it'll take your raw recording and then do some light post-processing, some metadata, and give you a much more finished, polished file, but along with the transcription and the edits, and you can tell it to dump all the ums and all that stuff. So it's an interesting play to say that they've already been building the hardware, microphones and interfaces for years, and now they're getting, and they have a lot of software already, but now they're building software to kind of get into that post-production
What's it
environment.
called?
Called Rode Studio.
Rodecaster Studio.
Rodecaster Studio, and it is. I had to really dig to, because Rode had a bunch of announcements of podcast / run and gun video stuff, but this one really intrigued me because it was quote AI powered, and it might actually be more AI powered than most AV shit that we see, right? Giving you the transcripts, cutting out and doing a bass edit and polishing off, an audio
the
recording.
filler word removal kind of thing, that word correction.
Hold on, guys. I'm signing up to be on the wait list for
Yeah,
this
the waiting
software.
list.
You're gonna hit a.
Well, you
you're gonna
have
hit
to
a-
have the hardware.
You're gonna hit a speed bump there when it asks what hardware you have.
Well,
In my grad program, like one of the courses was using production technology in an educational setting. And I was the only tech person in the class. Everyone else was educators. And
Nerd.
yeah, I know. But there was definitely such a steep learning curve to knowing how to produce a good audio file. Like
Shit, we
how
can
to
barely figured
Step
out here.
one,
Yeah,
push
yeah.
all faders to the top.
Yeah. Or pull them all down. Either way.
You're ignoring
the
the
other.
content. You're focused so much on the technology. I think a product like this really helps to eliminate some of that and allow more people to use the equipment without it being a bad experience.
See, that's kind of going back to like the black magicification of stuff. It's just give me the conversion, plug it in the software, bolt on some AI,
Yep.
let it loose.
guys, I'm on the wait list. I'll let you know when it gets here.
Well,
Keep us up to date. Yeah.
we'll use all of our AVSF money to buy some of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
All $4
Mhm.
or whatever's
Yeah,
in Chris's wallet
$6
today.
in Chris's wallet, yeah.
That's in the other room. I can go get my wallet if you want, but don't have it with me.
I got 67 cents.
Okay, so yeah, I think that was clever. It was I think we're going to see a boatload of this kind of stuff in the coming weeks, months. Like the AI
Sometime in
fueled,
June.
automated production environments. And then you're gonna have people out there, well, why not just have AI do it for you? Why are you even bothering? Just have it do generative everything. And it's like, okay, I can do that too.
Sure.
No.
Now that you say that, that's funny that you say that, Mark.
Yeah, that it could be the next topic.
It's funny you say that
It is funny, isn't it?
because that is a big concern in
Yes, it
the
is.
content production world.
How
Well,
big of a
geez,
concern
Jamie,
is it?
yeah, just
What
kinda
is
lean on that
somebody
one.
doing
So,
about it? Yeah.
So Sony announced, I guess they announced it earlier, but they're making a kind of a bigger deal about it that it's now expanding. They're doing content protection directly on the cameras to fight
Yes.
specifically against all the generative AI content being created. So at the very
I had a
beginning
hell of a time getting my mind around what was going on here. I'm going to be honest.
Well, I think they're
I had to read like 4
Yes.
articles to figure it out. It was.
I'm
deep.
going to try to summarize it here, and you guys can tell me how wrong I am. They're basically flagging content at the creation to say that it is not AI generated.
Let me ask this stupid question. Can't AI get around that anyway?
Probably, yes.
And
It already has. It's already cracked it. Mythos already figured this shit out. Yeah.
Like, hey, just make this go away and then grab this and then do this and then.
Well, it's not necessarily protection as much as verification.
It's verification and
But not if AI strips it off.
It's fair. Well, then
just chicken or the egg here, man. Like,
yeah. So
I'm just curious about how this works because
I think there's a big concern in clients of video production companies of you didn't actually use a camera, you didn't actually use a person, you didn't actually use the thing. You just had AI do it, and you charged me $2.4 million for this commercial.
this is
Where so prove it. And so now the Sony camera, and I think that's the story that I saw on NAB is that they're now putting it at the camera level, and it is using triggers within the image. It's basically metadata is what it is. And then it goes through the process and it says, no, this is original content. This was captured on this camera. It's supposedly a form of content protection, and not necessarily the way we're used to seeing it. Now it probably
So-
will be used that way at some point, but let's pretend.
If it captures an AI hologram, is that real or is that fake?
So actually, good
Go
point.
get something to eat.
No. That they specifically mentioned that
Yeah.
being able to capture 2D renderings of
Yeah,
an actual event or something,
It's in that 3D piece.
it will get flagged because the IR sensors and things in the camera detect the depth isn't there, and so it says I can't verify this as being entirely, a human subject.
I
sort of
was
thing.
there's got to be some flaws to this.
Oh,
I'm
there
sure there
absolutely
are.
is. But I found it very interesting that they're now taking that the manufacturers, not just content creators, they're taking that little step and putting it at the port of origin. They're putting it at the camera, not in the editing chain somewhere.
Yeah.
It is at the point of origin. And I wonder if it will end up being at the endpoints to the destination, like the TV will say, no, this was,
Do you
flagged.
think this was derived from, politics coming out of the movie industry and all of that, or where do you think?
I think
the push
what it
for
comes
this
down to,
came
it's
from?
it's in the certificate of authenticity, right?
Yes.
Is that what you have created is genuine, and so me as a
Right.
professional, I went out there, I did this thing. I didn't just have
That's what he does. but where did the
Claudia
push
or
come
Coppola
from
put
is-
together an image, and I took a picture of it on my screen, and and I'm passing it off as like genuine work. It's not like you're getting the metadata that says yes, this is real, and like it's trying to bring legitimacy to folks who
Well,
are doing this as careers and professions.
And remember,
In
Sony
the movie
also
industry.
owns a studio.
Yeah. So there's that.
So this is their way of combating AI generated.
And that's my
movies,
point. Is there's got to
videos.
be a
It's
trigger to this, and
self-protection.
is it the movies and the actors and
Yes.
It's all of it.
I'm sure there's definitely parts of it, yes, that are involved.
Yeah.
In it.
Yes, it's a lawyer somewhere. But
yeah.
it was interesting how they're doing it. It will come back to screw us later. We all know this. But I thought it was very
Yeah,
interesting
at
that
some point in a few years, someone's going to bring in content that they created with these cameras, and it will not play back on your system.
because you don't have a Sony display.
You're not licensed for the
Sony-
authenticity.
your Sony
NDI
display's license has
6.2.
that's fine.
and
I'll just
works
create my
out.
own
4
AI
and 6,
content and watch that.
Yeah,
I just-
exactly.
Make
Can't
my own
afford to go to
movie.
movies. I'll make my own movie.
I'll
Fine.
Make my own.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right, so the final item we have, and I think we
Ooh, it's
all
the
decided
best.
this
This is
started
a
as kind of
beauty.
like a
We
really
need
this
this.
thing.
The visuals probably
I'll
the
work on
most
that while we
important
get-
piece of this.
So
yeah.
I'll turn this over to you guys while I bring up the visuals. I would say this was our unanimous, all 5 of us here, product of the show. Is from our friends
the
at
WTF award goes to
is this Wally? Are we bringing?
Yeah. This is
Johnny
Wally.
5. It's Johnny
who
5.
found this. Mark, was this you?
This was in that like best of 10.
Before anybody sees this,
Yes.
I just want to say when I first looked at this, I thought they were pulling up something from 1985. No shit.
This
like I
thing,
it's just,
so what is it? The Studio Rover mobile.
are you bringing up
studio.
the AI image that you doctored?
Hold on,
No,
Justin. Just
don't start. Come on,
just
this
spoil
is
shit
legit.
here.
The studio with a 19-inch NDI teleprompter, talent monitor, motorized column, PoE light,
God.
2 D series patch panel
Real.
slots. This thing is ready for battle. This thing is ready to go.
Is it it's CCI? No, you just use that.
Yeah, I'm assuming this ships on a crate in the same way. They just airdrop this bitch right in, and it shows up on the
Assembly
scene.
required.
Yeah,
Oh, goodness.
this thing is badass. Like,
We were wondering if it drove itself and had a remote control. Chris, can you bring up the AI?
I'm
because it
working
says
on it.
ro-
Hold on.
like the
The
whole thing.
advertisement says that it's robotic, and so we were
Yes.
all we went down
We
into a
needed to
rabbit
know.
hole.
We had to figure it out.
Does
But
it
the-
drive
See if I can
around?
find that
Does it?
damn thing now. Sorry.
There's no way it's robotic.
It just goes up and down. That's it.
The, on the
auto.
site it shows it like, oh, it can just roll in. You can just wherever you need a studio, you just send this thing in. The only way this could be better if it was on one of those autonomous dog like quadruped things, and it would like that would be badass. Like it would just go wherever you need to. It just send it into the
With
scene.
the camera stabilizer?
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
let's go.
It
Yeah.
just it
But it
brings
needs
it
to
into
come
your
with, like-
office, and if you want to
Mhm.
sit down, then it raises to sit down level. And if you want to stand up, it
Who
raises
makes
to
this
stand up.
contraption? Like
I
who
can.
put
I can.
I can? They put
Yeah,
their name
this
on
and all their lighting accessories because
Yes.
this goes with it.
Of course.
It makes all the sense in the world.
They
Mm-hmm.
make great lights. I mean, this is weird,
Yeah.
but their lights are fine.
No, this is
And the
not
weird thing is about this one, like I like their lights. They did the writing wrong on this. Like you need to
Is there a
have like
measurement?
it
It's
is
just a
dead
squash.
center. Like that is the worst possible way to light
Hold
someone.
on, Larry. What's the AFF measurement on that light? Is it 3 foot? Is it 2 foot? Is it 6 foot? What do
It's
we?
about it's as
what's
good
the
as it
scale
needs
of
to
this
be
thing?
when
It
it needs
goes
to
up
get
and down,
done.
who knows?
It goes up and down. It gets bright. And
Okay.
so this is like something that Jamie and I would dream up like in a competition. Like,
we were like, I have all this weird shit in my garage.
yes.
Mark, you want to build one?
We can build this over like a 6-pack, and like I dare you to use this kind of shit. Dare me? Shit, I'll hold my beer. I will bolt it on here. I got this radio flyer wagon and a 6RU rack and a display and a mirror and this fucking lampshade, and here we go.
I feel like, and
And
wait, there's
anyone
more.
wearing
It raises
glasses?
with my remote.
Exactly. You're like, oh yeah, I got this old lectern, half the leg works. Bolt it on there. We'll just see if that works. And sure enough, here it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And
All
like,
right, so I
it's
did
sweet.
finally find the other thing. So the most interesting part about this one is the automation that they've built into it. The fact that it does a lot of this work for you. It does the it controls the lights, it controls the teleprompter, it controls the inputs and all that. And there's a bit of secret as to how it's doing that.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, we all know the answer to this, and there he is.
Because there's a tiny dude down in there. Just look at him go.
Al.
That's Al.
That's Al. He's got his little Flintstones feet hanging out. He can push it around and drive
He's
it
got a
for
little
you.
coffee mug.
And there
What
goes
does
that
the
icon.
coffee mug
How's he
say?
go to
Number
the back?
one what?
I can
Number
check
one
has gone.
human engine on the coffee mug there.
That's nice. Yeah, this we
we
stopped
did-
in our tracks when we saw this one.
And it did.
This
I
was a
like
choice.
the comparison to Johnny 5 from Short Circuit too. I thought that was
Are they going to be at Infocom?
Yes,
I
with
hope
nothing
so.
but these.
I'm going to
actually-
get a selfie next to this thing.
You can sign up for the pre-order on this one too, Justin. $22,999.
yeah, for the low price
Yes.
of 23 grand, it's yours.
23,000. Can we build one and sell it for 10 grand and make 5 grand a profit?
Yes, you just put black magic in it. You're
Right.
off to the races.
So I mean, clearly there's a market for something like this, some sort of all-in-one
Is
kit
there?
that can roll in. I don't know, but they built it, so there must be.
There is.
There's
Where
not
is the
always a
market?
market. There's not a market for this.
Here's my assumption. They heard from probably a client or a couple of them who have
It said we'll buy
you know,
10
like
tomorrow.
Who was
yeah, like
drinking at the time?
They only
somebody
need to
who
sell
wants
one.
a bunch of these, and they want to be able to roll it into a place, set it up, just do a set and forget, point and shoot, and away they go, sort of thing. I don't know. It's very strange.
It's like-
But I do very much hope this is at Infocom, and we can go see one.
What if this product is seriously badass and we end up all buying one?
It's not, dude.
It's going to be amazing. I'm all in it. It needs to be.
I have no idea what it does. I'm assuming it records to something, maybe.
It's
Like,
just
does
a
it-
little
It
personal
rolls up in front of
studio.
you, jams a microphone in your face, says, read these
Where's the
words,
microphone?
blinds you with the light, and somebody in a control room somewhere else is like, got it. Moving on. Next victim.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
what
a
happens.
it's like a corporate video or,
Yeah.
or something like that kind of deal. I mean, I can, Chris. I bet you're right. They had some corporations say, well, we need 12 of these, and they're like, well, shit, might as well make a product.
Which dumbass
I
corporation.
want to see the controller that it
Like
takes to
who?
drive this thing. Like, that's what I want.
Justin, you know, honestly, who this might be? It might be somebody like Bloomberg or something, where they routinely just cut to somebody like, "Let's go ask Justin about the frozen orange juice commodities."
Stick that
And
He's
this
on the
is
robot in
street.
front of
He's
him.
down in the
No,
pit.
no, this is so what I'm saying, Justin. This is in your office, and it's just always there as a standalone thing, and you just fire it up.
Then
and do
why
your
does it
thing.
have wheels?
So you can move it around if you need, because there's a dude in there. I don't know.
So what if you want to step over to your marker board?
It needs to follow you. It's got to try.
it
You
needs
know
the
that
robot
motion
part, though.
tracking is coming next.
Yes,
on
we need
this,
the
right?
motion track. You wear this pendant, it will follow you
Yeah.
around.
We really need to put a motor on this thing, put some sensors on it, let it follow you around like a little drone.
Do you guys remember
Mhm.
15
Race
years
it.
ago, everyone was all hot to trot about those iPad robots that could follow you around?
That's
So-
this. This is the broadcast
That,
version.
no, it's not, Mark. That's not even this. It can't follow you around. It's got no motor.
Yes,
The
it can. There's
wheels-
a dude right
There's
there.
a dude in there driving it. It can go wherever you need to go. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the real. This one version 2 can, yes. Okay.
This is just a simple firmware update. There's
Comes
nothing
with this
wrong
guy,
this.
Justin.
Yes.
Firmware update.
The good news is you don't need a USB stick to apply this firmware.
No, it uses MIDI only.
MIDI man.
Exactly.
Ask this guy to do the firmware. He writes it. He writes the firmware.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that's everything from NAB.
There was nothing
Oh.
else. There was nothing else there. We
It's
looked.
just the gems. It's just the gems.
What's this
Yeah.
company called?
I can.
Icon.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you never used their
Icon
lights,
going to be at Infocom.
I always look at using their lights.
I've used them.
Not
I've used their lights all over the
necessarily.
place.
I like them to like integrate with like other RS-232 and weird control processors.
I go to
lights and stuff. They
Chauvet
look
or
great.
Chauvet or whatever for that shit.
They're affordable.
All right. Well, this was our high points of NAB because we were all not there. And these are the things that
Hold
we
on.
saw come across the emails.
The
of
groups that
interest.
paid enough to market it to the point in which we saw it. This is your stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, your marketing worked.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're talking about how this production technology is kind of wedging its way into and more into what we're doing. So
Is that even a thing?
it is. So back in 60 seconds.
If you missed the last episode of Off the Rails, congratulations. You avoided a full hour of grown adults arguing about AV over IP 2.0, cloud-connected everything, overpriced classroom systems, and whether lecterns should contain actual rack space or just room for the emotional damage of everyone who has ever serviced one. We talked about why just throw a TV on the wall is not a design philosophy, why your department's $600 classroom refresh budget may not survive first contact with commercial displays, not to mention power, data, labor, programming, support, or reality, and why every vendor apparently thinks cloud-enabled means please subscribe forever. It was educational. It was petty. It was mostly about technology, which was, frankly, a bold choice for this show. So go back and listen, because while you were doing something productive, we were solving higher ed AV1 complaint, one bad quote, and one overstuffed lectern at a time. Catch up at avsuperfriends.com.
Wow.
I thought that was, where is that coming from? Who's got like dogs
We've got
yelling?
like kids and dogs battling in the background.
Not me.
Oh, that might be me.
I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to figure out what
Might
that
be.
noise was. I thought it was on the
There's a
on the,
couple of
that clip.
teenagers upstairs. I
Oh,
didn't know you could hear that.
real
Most of the time,
debacle.
my mic's not that good.
What mic is it, Jamie? Because we all want to know.
Is it a road?
No, you don't really want to know.
Audio Technica?
No,
Oh, is that
not
your
this
fancy
one.
mic?
Fancy? No, it is not.
The
I
mic
will
locker.
All right. So short segment here, just kind of as a wrap up related to NAB. More and more, we're seeing these what would be considered traditional broadcast technologies bleed their way into what we do, presentation and conferencing AV. And more, we're seeing presentation and conferencing AV kind of bleed its way into the broadcast world as kind of the end result. They will spend millions of dollars building out the perfect studio, and it's going to end up on a 720p Zoom stream. So where do we see this going? Are these eventually going to 100% converge, or are we going to maintain some separation there? What do we see happening in the next few years?
We just talked about Bird Dog and HDCP. So there's the start of
We
it.
did.
If that's the single domino that it takes, I mean,
I don't know. I use
Well,
the
I think
Blackmagic, the little Blackmagic micro converters. I have those buried in some of my systems because I needed to get from this format to that format. And look, I did that for $200. Done. So,
I think fundamentally they're solving for a lot of the same problems that Pro AV has kind of historically had, and now that everything has been packetized and we're shipping it around and it's just truly A to D and D to A, the problems look the same. So it's just going to be like, you know what? Why don't we just acquire that company and then we'll be in that vertical, and then
Actually,
I'll
that's
acquire
interesting.
this, and then that it's just going to be one big homogenized mess of gray area. And everybody, did AV ever exist in the first place?
there's no such
And so,
thing.
yeah, and it's all just going to be IT. Well, we won't have broadcast. We won't have AV. It's all just IT. And it's like, what happened? It's IT with cameras.
And I think we're seeing
Because we don't need speakers anymore, right, Mark?
We
Even
determined that on a
even if
different
we-
episode.
if we look at just the traditional markets today, broadcast and AV, I do think that there was all the middle ground of that prosumer because of podcasts,
Prosumer.
because of YouTube, because of corporate video, because of the downfall of a lot of corporate broadcast, right? We're starting to see it reduce in most areas. And I think because of all that, we see this giant thing of prosumer.
Mhm.
And so it's just so tempting I could buy this cheaper PTZ camera, or I could buy this quote broadcast grade that has the little bit bigger chipset, the little bit better lens, and it's just a little bit more. And I think that's why we're starting to see some of these things come together. Of course, putting it on a network of some sort helps. We're seeing the streaming bits, but the changes in the broadcast industry and then the uptick in everybody can do their own thing. Like one of the big things we didn't talk about a minute ago was like GoPros coming out with these real broadcast things, and they're still GoPros.
Well, they have one camera that's a micro four thirds, if that's what you mean.
But
Yeah.
well, but even the other ones in that series
They have a
are
bigger
much
sensor,
higher.
yes. Yeah.
Well, I
And,
think yeah.
and we're
But they're
we're
still
seeing
only
that
$600,
convergence.
The convenience and the capability of the technology has gotten to the point where the price point, you can do a lot, to the point
Yes.
where you can get better than good enough at a very, very comfortable price point. And so it's how much do you need to spend? And not to say that's disposable economy for everything, but not everything needs the whole truck to show up with the crew to do all the stuff. You can do
Yes.
a lot with tools and have good, if you have a little bit of wherewithal and know how things actually work, you could be really, really successful with toolkits that you've never had access to until recently.
And I think
Correct.
that's part of the thing too. Like it used to be on campus, you might have 1 or 2 events a year that required the truck to roll out to stream something. I've been running numbers with my team about how many events we supported last year in a broadcast streaming type of scenario where
7.
we were using Blackmagic.
8.
It was like over 40. And so it's like
40.
a couple of times a month, we're rolling out our production broadcast prosumer gear to do this on campus. And I think since COVID, like that's just kind of ramped up and it's never dropped off again.
Everybody wants to have that experience, that video experience. We're telling the story. We got to get out there and expand our mission and our footprint. And so, but we can't afford to bring a full tractor trailer production crew in here. And so it's attractive to look at like, okay, for a few $1,000s, you can build out some infrastructure and do a really good job and fool enough people to make them believe that we know what the fuck we're doing. And so that's fundamentally what's going on, right? It's like, what's my minimum investment to fool this person to give me a check? What do I need to do? And so it just comes down to the dollars and cents. I mean, Justin, you talk about this all the time. What are we trying to get done here? Like, don't overspend if you don't need to. And so it's kind of that whole conversation we always dig into, where like these larger historic dinosaur companies, they have a lot of overhead. These disruptors coming in, like, I don't think they look at it like, oh, is this AV? Is it broadcaster? Like, we can do that. Call it whatever the hell you want. Like,
Well, and from the content owner perspective, or not the content owner, that's the wrong term, the content creator, I suppose, they go through this whole thing and they go the traditional route, and we build out a conference room or whatever, event space for them, and all hands space, whatever. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars for all this stuff. And they're like, dude, there's a dude on YouTube using, Jamie, to your point, he's got himself a GoPro. He's got a little Blackmagic interface there. He's got a Rodecaster, whatever. He's in for $2 or $3 grand, and it looks like that. Why does that person get that? And we've spent all of this, and we get this grainy, hard to hear, sounds terrible, etc. So there's definitely a lot of people pushing those boundaries as far as like what is appropriate for a space. Maybe some of these technologies are, and that's where we're starting to see things like NDI.
I want a virtual studio.
Well, and I think there's
digital
also
studio.
there's
$2
also
million.
times where we recognize that we have, especially in the last few years after with the ingest of classroom capture and Zoom and Teams and things,
For which you bought an appliance in every room.
We need a multi-camera switcher, right? And all of these companies or all of these resources just want a USB stream. And well, that's now we have all the tchotchkes. Or if you're due by, oh, look, there's this broadcast switcher that does 4 cameras and it has a control API to it. So buy the ATM switcher, throw it in the back of the rack and be done with it. It does everything you need it to do, and it's a USB. Or the SDI. We've all done that. Pulled SDI back and just use a simple SDI switcher that used to be only broadcast stuff. Because Why would we use that?
I have dozens of rooms exactly like
Yeah.
that. There's 3 SDI cameras come back to a basic switcher, 232 control, camera
And
1,
done.
2, 3. There you
It's
go.
the economics. Like the endpoints became affordable, and you could
You got
have
one with
control you need, and we
232
just roll.
control?
And
Give
for
me
a,
that one.
for a broadcast engineer, they're like, they do that every day, all day long.
Mhm.
We think, oh, well, it's not HDMI, so it probably won't work. BS.
Mhm.
This will work just fine. Let's do it.
The ones I've
So-
been using are relay control. They're stupid.
What?
But then, Justin, you can
Wait,
hear.
I'm
the
actually
click.
kind of,
Oh, there's
I'm
my-
actually
there's-
kind of interested in
click.
this. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's a 2x1
And it's
switcher
relay
that works
control.
Oh, your
well.
little
That's a
switcher?
yeah.
Cool.
It's stupid. But it works.
Interesting.
It's just I
works.
wish it
But
was
it
zero
works.
control, or
Justin,
Ethernet.
the one I use, Marshall
Marshall,
VSW
the
2000
Marshall?
all day long.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even think of using
And-
Marshall.
Marshall, where the F is the new version? I don't want to hear any
Right.
excuses. I'm done.
Right.
What new
I'm
version?
coming to your booth. If you're at Infocom, you
The
better have the
VSW
new version.
2001.
The one with
Is that
IP
a
control.
threat?
You guys keep promising.
Oh,
Where is it? You're on blast.
It's got RS-232. Who cares?
it's got 232.
I know.
Mark, I could. You're gonna love this. How about a tchotchke that then converts
Oh,
to IP?
Yeah.
Because I use those all over the place for those
Global
displays that are
cache.
weird
Yeah,
or something.
your
Yeah,
global
global
cache.
cache, fantastic.
Although I may
Middleware.
have, hidden global caches inside boxes before.
There's
open up,
manufacturers who have done that, Jamie.
I straight up
Yeah.
have hundreds of those deployed and it's display manufacturers who are like, oh yeah, we have IP control. Yeah, for the Android interface only. I can't actually drive the display with that. And that's for 232. I'm like, stop doing that. So anyway,
Yeah. So
Raspberry Pi
I think it is a
global
neat
cache.
convergence, and in
anything.
our world, we all have a studio or something that we have to deal with, and so NAB is always really cool. Maybe next year we'll go.
Oh, it is.
What do you
like
mean?
Tinker
next
or heaven?
year We use this we shit.
Don't you want to go?
Jamie and I are
NAB?
going to be live from NAB next year.
good. With one of those ICANN robots following you around.
Of course, yeah. That's kind of where I was going with that. It's going to be following us around the whole week.
They've listened to the show. They're going to sponsor it.
I'm flying around.
I
all
was
these
on your side. I
conferences.
can remember. Listen.
Can't get any work done.
All right. Well, yeah. So keep looking for these disruptors coming out of what we would consider traditional production shows.
Hmm.
But more and more of this stuff is doing what we need it to do and upending some apple carts. So, all right. Any last thoughts? NAB production? Any of that fun stuff? Biamp's 50th? Nothing? No. All right. We're rolling out.
Justin's hungry.
Justin,
He's gotta go
We
eat.
made him wait this
about
long.
to-
And Justin, you have another meeting in 30 minutes. You have to be there. So
What?
it's
Are
on
you
your
shitting me?
calendar. I know because I
God
have the same
damn
meeting. All right. Thanks, everybody. Back next week with more of this fun stuff. Well, we've managed to ruin yet another episode of AV SuperFriends Off the Rails. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com. If you complain loud enough, we might just invite you on the show.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.